Salutations again. This is Bob, and this time I have a little bit of water with me, so let's try and make this last for at least 20 minutes. Anyway, I'm fired up right now. Now, I don't know what screen recorder you guys are using. Using Score.IQ is made by some random guy. It's the only free screen recorder that works. I mean, I tried other ones, but I don't know, they'll just crash or there'll be some bug that won't let me record. And this is the only one that works decently. Has its problems, but but it's feasible. Whew. With that out of the way, let's get into today's topic. Big systemic racism. But anyway, just for disclosure, sure, I like to focus more on ideas. Like yesterday, today was more about memento mori and just our society structured to support the elderly at the expense of the youth. I prefer to talk about ideas or in politics like systemic racism be today compared to me talking about, I don't know, Kamala Harris getting involved in what Kamala Harris or Trump are doing or what Trump did about it. It Yeah, anyway, I prefer to focus more ideas into people. So anyway, NPR. Idaho governor signs bill to ban critical race theory in schools. During this last month, former President Trump orders federal. No, I should just go to the date, May 1st, so 10 days ago, still relevant. During his last month in office, former President Trump ordered federal agencies to stop racial sensitivity trainings, including those based on so-called critical race theory. That theory holds in part that racism is a social construct ingrained in American life and laws. President Biden has since rescinded that order by his predecessor, but the push to ban the teaching of racial justice theories has now moved on to the states. This week, Idaho Governor Brad Little signed a bill pushed by Republican state lawmakers that aims to outlaw teaching critical race theory and other social justice concepts in public schools. James Dawson of Boise State Public Radio has this report. Don't call me now, boys. Just getting started. Okay, this is just a discussion. Let's move to a more conservative news source. Martha McCallum spars with Teachers Union president over critical race theory classroom. That's a dodge. Anyway, systemic racism and critical race theory are are essentially ideological or perspective siblings. Because like the article said that where he's talking about the life and laws. Damn my voice. Anyways, bear with me. That the life and laws of American life are racism, but critical race theory is what's calling it racist. The story hosts Martha McCallum tangled with the American Federation of Teachers President Randy Weingarten Monday over support the New York Times controversial 1619 project on critical race theory being taught in classrooms across the country. McCallum questioned Weingarten's push to implement a curriculum based on certain parts of the 1619 project. Published in 2019 by Times, the project is based on a belief that the first importation of slaves to American shores in 1619 constituted the nation's true founding and reason for a revolution in colonization as people wanted to preserve slavery, McCallum explained. Wenger, a self-described history social studies teacher, defended a controversial belief, claiming that from areas I can see and understand from the data, I see 1619 was the year that the first slave boat came from Africa to the United States, and that's a point in history I think we should be teaching. That's a very simplistic take on it, McCallum fired back. The story host this my project indoctrinates children believe the country is founded on the basis of wanting to preserve slavery. If you raise the children in this country believing it's a bad country that's found in wanting to preserve slavery, then we've got a problem in our school system. No, that's not factual. That's not true, account on reviewers. There's no evidence called. So anyway, you get the point from this article. And what most critical race theorists propose, I show a broad definition. Plainly, you guys are probably familiar, but what they're proposing that problems we're seeing today with the police stuff and black poverty can all be traced to the year 1619. Teenagers embedded white and unconscious bias that influences the institutions over time. Anyway, today we're gonna take a look into that throughout the tabs and reach a conclusion. Let's go. So BLM, just showing you how influential it is. Oddly enough, I went on Twitter, typed in BLM to St. Grayson, gave me a bunch of right-wing personalities. I'm not sure if Twitter's tracking me when it falls, it shouldn't have, but I wouldn't be surprised if their test that sophisticated. Okay, but anyway, you get to deal with this, goes in out. And now the data they cite are not all the data, but just the just the generalized data they're citing. You can take a look. Washington Post, fatal force, 973 people have been shot and killed by police in the past year. That doesn't seem right. That seems more like something they calculated, because this is like going back to 2015. The contests, rate of shootings. Like, damn, that is getting black can kill a much higher rate than white. Yeah, numbers that you'll hear on this BLM activist site. Victims by age. Age are mostly young people from 20 to 40. Shootings happening across the country. Oh yeah, definitely California and Florida hotspots. I mean, we're right above we're the essentially northern drug cartel. Then here they have a lot of crime. And keep that in mind. Keep the crime rates back in your mind. It'll be important for later in this discussion / exploration. And here's a filter. I can filter by race, gender, their weapon, yada yada yada. I wanted to focus on unarmed and black, because if it's an armed black person, it could just be their concealed carry got shot. But most of the time, if they're going to show an unarmed black person because they're in a drug ring or something, and so I'm going for unarmed and black. And so, according to the Washington Post, 136 people shot and killed by the police matched my filters out of 6,144. Keep that in mind. Here's all the names and details. If you're interested, it's Fatal Force Washington Post. Okay, now, now this is like like a behemoth titan then of the side data for systemic racism in the U.S. as is that is police brutality or excessive police force. Well, now it comes down to a question of why. This exploration is going to why for these things. Is it because let me rephrase it. Is it because these institutions were structured by racists who essentially hate blacks or whatever, and they structure to target them? Or is it because that blacks just typically commit more not trying to be racist here, but just saying that crime rates for blacks are higher. are pretty high. Not in all categories. But like here, offense charge total on murder compared to right. Oh, my bad. I get a little dyslexic sometimes, so just bear with me on my mistakes. Yeah, so murder. That's where that 1350 number comes from. 30% population, 50% murders. Although I did not research how the population of the well, I say America. I'm not sure. I'm pretty sure it raised from 13% though, but still, so murders, robbery is pretty high relatively other groups, even higher than the largest group. We go down. Ooh, look, aggravated assault. Oh, damn it! This chart gives me so much freaking dyslexia. Burglary is reading through the numbers. Arson. Gee, I wonder where that came from. Anyway, there's going. Yeah, that's fraud's definitely the white group. Vandalism for gambling. Rough, I'll apply to be okay. Vagrancy, 15. Okay, so in table B, percent distribution. Yeah. Like, oh yeah, those percent distributions ain't looking too healthy. Burglary, larceny. Anyway, I'm going so you can pause and read these crime rates for yourself. Don't take my word, just look at the data. Yeah. Embezzlement, yeah. Oh, what's this? Stolen property, buying, receiving, processing, weapons carrying, breathe down, but well, prostitution. Then stuff that's going to get me demonetized. Gambling, offenses is the same stuff but as percent form. But, alright, man, don't do this to me. But, like, usually most common crimes are robbery, or burglary, or whatever. And you can see a day here itself is disproportionately high. So, and often cited by like a service on systemic racism is that police shootings are relatively high because there's just generally more crime in black areas. Okay, give the conservatives just succeed the argument to them that the police target blacks more because the crime rates are higher. Okay, let's go to why. Okay. Yeah, I should really move to the top. Top when I'm done researching it. But anyway, 26 simple charges show friends and family who aren't convinced racism is still pro-America. Business Insider. Yada yada. Sign on to research and motives. Employment population ratio by race/ethnicity. Seeing this was 2019. Everybody got employed. I'm definitely in that statistic. But you see, orange is black, and then they got the lowest employment. Alright. Yeah, just you also bear with me on employment because I'm so used to unemployment just saying, oh wow, that's pretty good. Or no, that'd still be bad, but relative to your ones, that's pretty fair. I was thinking unemployment, but yeah. By the way, I feel like these things are worded like this for lobbyists and activist groups and whatever bureaucrats to get tax breaks. That's why I feel like you'll see some weirdly worded stuff in government data. But unemployment rate spiked. So yeah, definitely blacks got higher unemployment, underrepresented high-paying jobs. Okay, another argument conservatives bring up against systemic racism. It's a majority white country, but agents make up like 50% of professional managerial employment. So yeah, that is a valid argument. And blacks only 31%, Hispanic on 2 points. What year is this data from? Well, I guess could just be my Florida bias. Have a significant Hispanic population here. No caches right now. There. Well, especially black Americans are severely underrepresented at the top of corporate hierarchy. Again, Asians are overrepresented in that demographic, and throughout most of the years, this one seems a little more balanced with Hispanic, but then, yeah, you can definitely see a DNA strands here. By DNA strands, I mean they look like chromosome models. I'm not making any ethnic jokes. Okay, so yeah, just look at the data for yourself. Yep. You'll see the agents still consist of higher representation in CEOs, even though it's a majority white country, and then have historically been under the highest echelons of government as well. Oh yeah, then. Well, now it's the most diverse government we've had in history, so you can keep that one at, and not necessarily the back, but the back seat, if you get what I mean. Or no, you can't just throw out the car, but leave it at the back seat. Then black workers have historically earned far less than whites, and that's a racial wage gap, 62%. Their overall income for black Americans is about 42% lower in 2018. There's similar disparity. Also, yes, there are general household disparities. So black white Americans, yeah, see an increase slightly there. I also notice how they just ignored. Yeah, my bad. No, this one doesn't. But yeah, this one shows where wage gap rose a bit after civil rights and then fell 1970s and apparently rose significantly near the Nixon era. Was earnings versus other. Okay, I really don't trust this. It's just there are 100. Okay, there's no timeline. There's 100%. That's just not statistically possible unless you're using some weird arithmetic, which they don't. Did they disclose? Nope, they don't disclose any weird ass arithmetic. This one is just bizarre. Yeah, with me, I'm critical of charts. That's why I reviewed this first, because stuff like this, I mean, that is just, unless you're using some weird ass arithmetic, that's not possible. Keyword marriage, leaving your child when suitable for black Americans. Economic mobility by city and race. White, black. Yeah, definitely white. Ooh, DC. How's that possible in DC? That is literally the most, yeah, it is literally the most corrupt place in the United States. The most economic mobility there. Well, even more statistics. We're not even halfway through, and there's so many statistics here. Being earned by secondary school, race and subject. White. Look. You can pause the screen if you like. I just want you to soak in the data. I've tried to be exploratory rather than advocate. More than an advocate. College. Okay. I bet you're probably bored. You get the point with all this. Now let's go to the counter argument. Generation. The myth of institutional racism. Examining dry factors behind wealth disparities between racial groups and reveals a truth much more complex than the left would suggest. First off, it is important to clearly define what people mean when they say institutional racism or systemic racism. Institutional racism specifies racial trait. In these, however, okay, you get the point. Systemic racism is broad institutional government, but I'm imagining institutional costs be corporate as well, as they hold so much power influence. Has a history of, yeah, we get it. There's major inequality. Those to say is behind Sperry may want to the effects according to a Brookings Institute. Did I bring that one up? This one? Oh no. Let's see. Is it the same one? Oh no. Later one. Let me organize this better. Or scroll, go to a Brookings Institute now. 3 simple rules, 14. This is one of the counter argument points. Points I'll briefly bring up here. Policy impact from economic opportunities for poor children must be premised in 3 stark realities. First, many poor children come from families that do not give them the kind of support that middle-class children get from their families. Second, as a result, these children enter kindergarten far behind their advantage peers on average never catch up being falling behind dirt. In addition to the education deficit, poor children are more likely to make bad decisions that leave them drop out of school, become teen parents who join gangs and break the law. Or remind you of any St. Happy in Society events or the communities. In addition, down to his local national program, the aim to help young employees like we should figure out more ways to conceive young people with great influence where they avoid poverty, enter middle class, let politics, schools, make country men, blah blah blah. Parents do they enter. Our research shows that of American adults who follow these 3 simple rules, only about 2% are in poverty, and nearly 75% have joined the middle class, defined as earning $55,000 or more per year. There are surely influences arguing these principles at play, but following them guys a young adult away from poverty into our middle class. So the best way I can interpret this argument is that okay, if these already did bring it. Okay, yeah, might as well read this. Think it gives my interpretation. Consider an example. Today, more than 40% of American children, including more 70% black children, 50% Hispanic children, are born outside marriage. This unprecedented rate of non-marital births combined with the nation's high divorce rate means that around half of children will spend part of their childhood, and for a considerable number of these, all of their childhood in a single-parent family. As far as single parents try to give their children a healthy home environment, children in female-head families are 4 or more times as likely as children from married couples to live in poverty. In turn, poverty associated with a wide range of negative outcomes, children including school dropout and what about births. Births and our point conservatives will bring up is that more rural, but more urban black communities have really high rates of single parent families, and this is what contributes to where is it all these disparities. These and they say not racism, but but the critical race theorists will argue that a single parent family is caused by systemic racism, and for that, the best evidence I could find uh, was saying that it's so loose that they even want to bring up this. There's a okay, it's hard that getting married is expensive, so and because black families typically have less disposable income, it's hard to get married. That argument seemed like a stretch to me. This is saying that all Americans turning their back on marriage culture. Now let's go into more arguments because I recall there are some some flawed arguments. Where are they? Is the poverty shortening? Okay, I just seem fine. Okay, let's read this argument. Let's assume that this is true. Cops all across America are biased against blacks, and as a result, many of them arrest blacks for no reason. There is still no evidence suggesting that more discrimination causes higher single motherhoods. This rate has nearly tripled for black communities since 1960, when 22% of black children lived in single parent parent homes. Is America more racist now than it was in 1960? When Jim Crow is in effect, has America become increasingly discriminatory against the black community over the past 5 decades? It would be asinine to suggest such a thing. And this fact invalidates the idea discrimination causes increased single-parent motherhood. Okay, they argued against a better Steelman than I did. Yet President Barack Obama has argued that single motherhood is a serious problem within the black community, and that fathers need to take more responsibility, as he stated that absent fathers are people who are acting like boys instead of men. He declared that responsibility does not enact consumption, pointing out how children grow up with an adult father are 5 times more likely to live in poverty and commit crime, 9 times more likely to drop out of schools, and 20 times more likely to end up in prison. National Justice Service supports this claim. I've all been just for context. Yeah, I'm done with the arguing away. I think you get the point now. No crime. Crime. No. Wait. Here's an end of the article. Single pink. Do research yourself, because I want to move on to the to where the arguments come down to. I'll get that one later. The arguments come down to both sides fire their statistics at each other. When the argument comes down, crap. Lead it. Oh well, I still got the last three I want to bring up. The argument is it's going to come down to motives and systemic racism. It comes down to it comes down to why are these police shootings happening? Are they happening because of discrimination, or because impoverished places typically have higher crime rates? Are they happening because the system's racist? Are they happening because of single parenthood? Yep, that's the one I deleted. But anyway, I already read through the data. They have, which according to the one of this. Oh no, here it is. According to the one with single parenthood, but this seems to suggest that it's more on the surface side. It's more cultural. It's more habitual. On the left side, they argues for not for the system, but for the existence of systemic racism. They argues this is all because of racism. So when you get down to that, very hard to tell. You have to. It will require deep research, which I did try to find with my limited time because I do have other things to do today. But with that type of research, you would have to go interview or poll every cop who stopped a single parent and asked them, "Did you do so because of racism, or whatever?" Just this with me, I seem to lean more on this side. It seems to be more habitual because for one, that argument that these that these urban black communities choose single parenthood seems to me more have cultural habit, but with one marriage being depromoted our society through economics. Ms. Andrew and they're just encouragement of modern feminism, which is just what men and women are the same in traditional marriage roles are an outdated idea. Yeah, so it seems really something more habitual than intentionally racist. Because again, I just couldn't find any solid evidence of racism in or any form of racist laws influencing a policy like, or influencing a habit like this. Not even a policy. I mean, the best I see is from the conservative side saying that Lyndon B. Johnson's welfare policy encouraged single parenthood, but which yeah, Lyndon B. Johnson is pretty racist. Just look up. He is a, I believe he is one who called MLK the N word. Yeah, I think it's him, but I could be wrong. You just have to look up. But Lyndon B. Johnson's definitely a racist. He's like, we have to try and get the to get the N word votes. And now this brings me to the second argument for why I think it's more habit. Why did all this the this quote unquote system of racism are just disproportionate enforcement enforcement's happening. The second reason other than out of habit, power. Okay, this is from a site 14 small ways you can fight racism every day. The racial unrest currently escalating in the United States has been unlike any single country since the LA riots of Rodney King verdict in 1992. Sadly, I need to take a water break. My mouth is a shred Sahara. Refreshment. Like Marco Rubio. Sadly, unnecessary police brutality against Black American citizens in the age of phone cameras, social media. Disturbing images bombard us with increasing frequency. On May 25th, a modern-day lynching was caught on camera, sparking a wave of possibly game-changing protests. For 8 minutes for its sentence, Derek Chauvin, blamed as nay, and joined like a George Floyd, killing the handcuffs of a black man who had been arrested over a counterfeit $20 bill. Boys, please, for life now have permanent spot on American history. Hey, well, I'm trying to impersonate these journalists, not trying to do anything racial here. One, don't be afraid of the word racist. Because as I'm trying to do stereotypical black voice, but I'm not trying to impersonate some creepo pseudo vampiric journalist. Nobody wants to be called a dread R word. It's too many white people that there's too many white people what the N word is to black people. Racist always. I'm gonna stop doing that voice game. Always hurt my throat. I have like just a few drops of water left. Always for white robe burn or the everyday microaggressions from often comments. Your people talking back. Oh crap. Anyways, getting close to when I have to go to an appointment, so going to get down to a point. Do something. 14 ways you can fight racism. Do something. Go both social media posts. If you want to, retweet it. Smart, but it's not enough anymore. My reader a lot, so I lose my place. Donate your time. Work with them too. Make a difference. Support. Move by donate to one of these charities worth I support right now. Look at all these. Yeah, give them your money. Give them your money. Give them money. Where's a donate? Donate today, plebs. Donate today for a brighter tomorrow. Anyway, as visualized by screen, you can see the set. Why I feel like this notion of CRT and systemic racism is promoted. give them money. Anyway, that concludes this segment. But Bob, I don't know, coiling out, wherever taken to. Ciao.